Well, basically, I've been lucky to be working pretty consistently as an actress, and then somewhere along the line, like I'd say like 3 years ago, I wasn't really happy with the kind of work I was doing and being offered, and I think that happens with everyone. I mean, I guess Amanda Bynes, bless her heart, just wasn't doing that either, and she kind of went in a different direction, and I kind of chose to go back to school. So even, and this is a long story, I still have more time left of school, but I still went back to school. And I started studying film. Originally I was studying human rights. Thought I was going to be Angelina Jolie. So stupid. And it's funny too, talk about trends. When I went to school, I went in 02, 03. When we were the conversations we were having about human rights, obviously it was before the war, and I'm sure we were before somewhere else, but human rights was like a big deal. People were going to change the world, and now I went back and took a human rights class, and human rights isn't even talked about. It's all about just like other things. So I kind of fell out of love with that, with political science, and was like, look, I'm not going to be less State Farm agents, but I'm not going to be a State Farm agent. I'm a lifer, like I said. So I decided I was going to direct, and I know the world needs more female directors. More female everything. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. That's cool. Diversity is super important. But yeah, so anyway, I started directing, and I did something for school, which actually came out pretty cool. And then I didn't like the audio on it. It's like you gotta learn everything you do. And then I did a music video you guys can all see. It actually got like 1,180,000 hits in a month. And the dude eats like a real scorpion, a live scorpion, so it's worth checking out. I shot that on the 5D that I was talking about. It's like so easy, to just point, click, shoot, and then worry about the lighting and everything else and what you're actually getting on camera. So and I'm learning. I'm actually applying to get my I guess it's not technically a master's, but a certificate at American Film Institute, AFI. It's technically, I guess it's the #1 film school in the world. Currently, my fiance goes there. It's kind of crazy. We met, and he's a veteran. He was a Marine. Oh, do we have veterans here? Awesome. If you're here, thank you very much for your service. And he was like, I don't want to just be, I want to do something creative with the stories that I've brought home with me. So I was like, well, check out screenwriting. So we ended up moving back. He put a ring on it. I stayed out in LA. Yeah. And so now he's fallen in love with screenwriting, and I'm now directing. We're kind of like a cohesive thing. So I really like where my life is. I'm really in love with directing, and for the first time, I kind of get to call the shots, and it's really empowering as a female in the entertainment industry, which is the most commoditizing and harshest industry for women. But so, any more other questions? There we go. There we go. He's like.
Okay, I have a question.
No, go ahead. Shoot.
Yeah, I'm gonna need this. First of all, this is the question I want to ask. Can you say Donnell Charity?
Oh my. How do you want me to say it?
Okay, say it. I just want to say that.
You said Darnell?
Donnell.
Donnell.
Donnell Charity.
Donnell Charity. You made my whole trip. I still got to do it with my family for Thanksgiving, so thank you for that. I needed it.
My real question is, I know me and a few of my friends and a bunch of other kids my age who grew up like with Disney and Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, all those old channels we used to watch being one way, and it's changed over time.
Yeah, I didn't mention this, but actually it's financial. Now they're only doing sitcoms that are really slapsticky, and everyone's like, what's up with that? It's cheaper. It's what I was talking about with cable making or it's what I was talking about with film making a shift to this digital. It's the same thing. They're making the shift to cheaper, faster, because the kids are so young they don't care. But I did hear that they were going to maybe bring back boys. And actually it costs like $1 million an episode for even Stevens, where I would imagine it probably is a fraction of that for like That's So Raven or whatever. So yeah. talk show with Raven, my friend Francia Reza. Hopefully, like, she was on Secret Life of American Teenagers, she's a cute girl. And then maybe like a Lauren Conrad or something, but like a younger version of The View. That's like one of the things I'm trying to go for, but it's interesting to get your feedback on it. But okay, so if anyone else got a question?
Is it on?
Okay. I was wondering, with YouTube, there's been a push from, cat videos to more of a content generator kind of thing. I was wondering if, from your professional point, if that has any traction, if you think there's going to be a shift to internet videos and content from that.
It's really the Wild West right now. Netflix is about to renegotiate, and I think there's gonna be some real problems with the renegotiations in order for them to either keep the content or something. So, I think the web more and more having original content is so much easier. I was actually just on a webisode of a thing called My Music that's on YouTube, and it's actually one of the five series that they fund. And they only gave them like maybe $2 million to shoot an entire season. So, but they did a great job, and it looks great. And I'm pretty sure they've shot on 5D as well. I think they get a lot more traction being that they're independently, doing it themselves, and a lot more attention, and also a lot more creative control. So for the artist point of view, I think that this internet thing it does have a huge future. I mean, look what it's done. And there's shows like the Tosh.0 that are devoted just to, certain things, that people are choosing to put on the internet. Some of them are questionable. So yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. And does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's only gonna morph and get a lot more complicated. Kind of like when the music industry went to, and Napster and all that stuff was happening. I mean, yeah, that was a tricky time for the music industry. I just so happened was getting a record deal with Atlantic at the time, and everyone was getting fired. So I never ended up. I came out with like a Disney type record, but my own personal like Rockstar record or whatever, I was paid out of my contract because they booted the guy. So it's just it's a change of hands, and right now is a really cool time to be talking about this trending thing, because there's just so much that's come to a crossroads in so many different ways.
Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Oh, please, yeah.
Hi. Okay. I'm just curious, like, how was your first experience with the first audition you ever had, and what was it?
Gosh, I mean, I was 6.5 years old, and it was and I think I booked it, because it's always like beginner's luck. It was like oh my god, I bet I could get it on the internet. Oh my gosh, if I could get it, I would love to show it for you. Let me see. I was 6 and it was adorable. I was like, what happened? But yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Is the sound working? It's me. Check this out. This is crazy. Is the sound working? Is that a separate cord? Oh, it's muted on the computer? Oh. Man, I was doing so good with it, too.
A Bunch of Munch, tonight on CTV.
Look at me. Childhood, right
And get a squishy, mushy, warm, and tender hug.
So there was the first thing I ever did. I think I did. Yeah, I did. But you know what? Oddly enough, those toys were recalled. Oh my god, that's hilarious. time though, so. What is it, Thursday? Thursday? You live in LA, it's like, it's warm every day, it stinks, you kind of miss the seasons, and then you just start forgetting which days it's bad. But Thursdays would be nice to go out, so I hope you guys do. Oh, which one? Who has the microphone? Oh.
So my question is these things, like a lot of this stuff gets applied on TV. Like normally, they're getting like posted. Most of these TV stations are like posting college lives. So it's like there's all these people like going to TV and to just watch the show college live.
Yeah.
It's not
Stream it.
more convenient.
Right.
Shows on their own time.
Right.
There's also like less immersion in that. So like what are your thoughts about that? What does that say about like
That's cool. I mean, it's a good question. I was talking to someone recently who's a producer. He actually has a fund of money that they pull from, and then they choose to either put it into, I guess, angel financing or whatever. He was talking about a company he knows that they will actually, it's like old school from when they used to do in the 50s. They'll work in like Tang, and then they'll actually, there's a creative person who looks at the script and then we'll say, oh, here's a place where we can put the cigarettes in, or here's a place that we can put the liquor in, or here's a place, and then they also discern whether the liquor brand makes sense to be in a family show. Like you're not going to put a vodka, endorsement in on TV with like a Disney movie. That's like that doesn't have to happen. But there's an art that's growing more and more, and a lot of people are making money off of how to advertise within not the general parameters of cutting to commercial. So it's interesting. It is an interesting question, but there's really no specific answer to it, except that you just gotta check out what they're gonna come up with next, I guess.